These ice cream sundae mini cheesecakes are super fun and so great for spring and summer. Vanilla mini cheesecakes with an ice cream cone crust are piled high with strawberry and vanilla whipped cream, and then they're topped with a chocolate drizzle, sprinkles, and a cute little cherry on top. Hi, I'm Lindsay from Life 11 Sugar, and today we're making ice cream sundae mini cheesecakes. All right, so to get started, you're gonna use ice cream cone crumbs. I used sugar cones, but you could also use a waffle cone. Just grind them up into crumbs and use those for your crust. We're gonna add a little bit of sugar to that. Mix that together. And then we'll add the melted butter. Mix that all together until all the crumbs are well coated. When you've got your crust ingredients all mixed together, you're going to divide them evenly into your cupcake pan. I've got mine already set up with cupcake liners, and I add about 2 tablespoons per cupcake liner. All right, so now you're going to want to press your crumbs down into your cupcake liner. You can use your hands or anything that you have kind of like that. You could use even the bottom of your spoon. I like to use the bottom of my muddler, so I'll use that to push the crumbs down into a nice even layer. All right, so once you've got your crusts all pressed into the cupcake liners, you want to pop these in the oven for about 5 minutes. All right, so while your crusts are baking, you can go ahead and start on your cheesecake filling. You want to start with room temperature cream cheese, sugar, and a little bit of flour. Then we'll pop these onto the mixer and mix them together until they're nice and smooth. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides a little. You do want to be sure that as you're mixing that you're using a low speed so that you aren't incorporating too much air into your filling. All right, when that's well combined, you want to add your sour cream and your vanilla extract. Once those are well incorporated and mixed together, we're going to add our eggs one at a time, mixing until pretty well combined after each. So once all of that is well combined, you're going to want to grab your cheesecake crusts that have baked, and we're going to add our cheesecake filling to our crusts. So once you've added all of your filling to your crusts, you want to pop this in the oven. You're going to start off baking them for about 18 minutes. Then you're going to turn off the oven, leave the door closed, and continue to let them bake and slowly start to cool for about 10 minutes. And then you'll crack the oven and let them continue to finish baking and cooling for about 15 more minutes. And then you'll take them out, pop them in the fridge, and let them firm up. All right, so when your cheesecakes have baked and cooled, we're gonna make a strawberry whipped cream, a vanilla whipped cream, and our chocolate sauce. So to make the vanilla whipped cream, we're gonna add our heavy whipping cream to our mixer bowl, some powdered sugar. It not only adds sweetness, but it also helps to stabilize the whipped cream so it's not gonna wilt, and some vanilla extract. Pop that onto the mixer bowl and whip it until you get stiff peaks. So you'll know you have stiff peaks when you can turn this upside down and your whipped cream doesn't fall off or fall to the side. The first thing we're going to need to make our strawberry whipped cream is our freeze-dried strawberries. They're going to make it just much easier to get a stiff whipped cream by having just a powder that we're going to add instead of a strawberry puree. All right, so we've got our strawberry powder. We're gonna go ahead and add our heavy whipping cream to our mixer bowl, and powdered sugar, which again is gonna not only sweeten but stabilize our whipped cream, and then our strawberry powder. All right, pop this on your mixer and again whip until you get stiff peaks. All right, to make our chocolate sauce, we're gonna start with our chocolate chips and pour those into a bowl. And then we want hot cream. I've gone ahead and heated this up, so we're just gonna pour this over the chocolate chips, let it rest for a couple of minutes, and then we'll whisk it until it's nice and smooth. To add the whipped cream to our cheesecakes, we're gonna use a piping bag with a large round tip. I'm using the Ateco 809 tip. So you want to hold your piping tip a little bit off the top of your cheesecake as you get started, because then it'll kind of help the dome round out a little bit. And then just start piping. You'll hold pressure and keep piping it out. Let it spread out and kind of start to create that dome, and then you'll slowly lift up until you have that nice shape that you're looking for, and then you'll release pressure on the bag and let go. All right, so now we'll do that again with our vanilla whipped cream right on top of the strawberry. All right, so now we're gonna add our chocolate sauce drizzle onto our cheesecakes. I'm using the Wilton number 10 piping tip, but if you don't have a bunch of piping tools, you could also just use a Ziploc bag. So now I just wanna finish everything off with sprinkles and a cherry. So there you have your ice cream sundae mini cheesecakes. They have a great wow factor, but they're actually super simple to make. For the full recipe, head over to lifeloveandsugar.com.